How's it going, YouTube? It's been probably about a year since I last done a video on the Leopard Gecko's bioactive enclosure, so I thought I'd just give you a little update how I'm going with the plant. Yeah, and just a general little explanation of what's actually going on since the last video. You can see the little bugger's been doing some digging around. He's made a little bit of a mess here. Anyway, it's his home. He can do whatever he wants with it. But yeah, the first thing you may notice right away is I have this really wild plant growing. Was not intended. I did not buy this plant. I bought some forest moss that I put in here. You can see I put it underneath here as well, underneath where all the isopods are. And I put a little thumbnail up so I can show this, but basically I bought this forest moss and a little plant started growing, a little tiny plant started growing, and it kept on growing and growing. So what I ended up doing is I ended up repotting it. You can see just here I buried this pot so I can just keep watering it, and as you can see it's growing wild and I kind of love it. I've got like a little mini forest going on. But yeah, I do think it looks so much better. Out of the other plants, this one's an air plant. He's still growing fine. The one in the back there has died, but it gives like a added, dead look. Same with this one here, but the only reason why I've got that one there is I'm just adding the pot, and I've got somebody who wants to make a show. There's Floyd the Leopard Gecko coming out of his warm-eyed. The warm-eyed itself is still the same. I'm really happy with the warm-eyed, to be honest with you. I don't think I will change anything. I did do some changes around here which I'll go over in a minute, but the warm-eyed itself, it works really well. He's obviously got this area where he's coming in and out of now. You can get down the back here as well and go inside. We can go through here as well, and you can also go down through the back over there as well. And the temperature on this stays really good. So yeah, so I was in the last video I was going over plant. Obviously I wasn't keeping plants alive. Looking at this now, you might think, oh bloody hell, he's doing really well. This, if you ignore this wild forest plant for a second, I did have a plant that was here. I had to take it out and repot it, which is in recovery. It is growing really well. This one is actually doing pretty good as well. It's got like little small plants coming off the side of it as well, and down on the other side. The one that where Floyd's next to now is sort of shrunk skinny, but it's growing tall, so we can get you a shot of what that looks like now. It's going pretty tall. So I went over in the last video about why plant placement and stuff like that's very important. Some plants can't be right next to the heat because they'll die pretty quick. So you have to be very careful with your plant placement. Like this is all the hot side here, cool, and then obviously cooler. There's wet adds in there. This here is just another extra add that I put in there for them. But now what this lets me do now, because I put the water ball over on this side, I can literally just spray down this side of the enclosure with a little bit more water than what I would like to do if it was sort of in the middle. This one and this one I've been watering like once a month, depending on how dry the soil is. I bought these little things where when I water they go blue. When they go back white, the soil is kind of dry. But yeah, that's one of the most difficult challenges I've had to try and do with the plant is you can't overwater these succulents. If you water too much and the soil gets bogged down with water, the roots will rot and die. If you underwater them, obviously they will die as well. So you got to get that like good balance going. So what I've learned with succulent is you're best to underwater them rather than overwater them. That's for sure. It helps. You can recover the plant more when it's not got the water, but if it's overwatered, and the roots start to rot, you pretty much got a dead plant. As I had with the issue with the plant that was here, the water was getting a bit too much, so I had to put it into a bit of recovery. So I repotted it. So that's out the enclosure at the minute, and I'll have that probably put back in here in a couple of weeks' time once it's fully recovered. The snake plant, on the other hand, some of it is sort of dying, but then I've obviously got loads of new growth as well. So yeah, it's a bit. Just got a phone call in. So yeah, so I'm all in all, I'm really happy. In terms of the cleaner crew that's in here, I've obviously got a lot of ice pods. And when I say a lot of ice pods, I'm not going to be able to show you them now because I can't lift this up when I'm recording. But underneath this water bowl, there's a lot of isopods. I've got the oranges and the greys in there. I've still got my beetles, six blue death falcon beetles are in here. But when it comes to this time of the year, I've noticed that they kind of just sort of hide away, and you don't see them for a little bit. So yeah, so I'm not going to be able to show you them right now. Floyd's just exploring me out, like, what are you doing? He's thinking to himself, what is he doing to my home? I've noticed that he always comes out if I start messing with something, you know, if I start messing with his water or start messing with something in general. He's pretty domain with his enclosure, like. But you know, that's what you'd expect. This is his home. Just like, leave my home alone. But yeah, in general, back here still where he goes for his poo. That's the cool side. He'll go down there. Obviously, his drinking water bowl. Created some new. Not sure if you'll be able to see it, but yeah, you're not going to be able to see it from there. But this is sort of like arched as well, so just give the insects in general some, you know, extra places to get down there and hide away. This plant, just look at it. It's got loads of little plants going. Like, I just imagine this in a couple of more months' time. That plant is just going to take over. It's just going to look like a little mini forest. It's just so good. Really happy with it. And, yeah, the warm side, like I say, is just the warm side. Floyd's just being Floyd. I don't think he can fit. He used to always come through that way when he was younger. Oh, he's going to be able to fit through there. Yeah, he is. That was the way he used to come through all the time when he was younger. He used to pop through that way. I don't really see him go through that way that much anymore. But clearly still can get through there. But yeah, it's just a quick little update, guys. All in all, things are going better. Plants are staying alive better. I'm learning more to recover them as well when they do start showing signs of, you know, you can kind of see when they start rotting away. You can take them out and then get them into a little pot, and they seem to recover really well. Did it actually do it with this one at one point, and you can see how well that's growing back in. There's still some questions I have, like I can see sort of like a bit of brown. I just don't know if that's just normal, but it's been like that for maybe a month or so now. So I don't know if that's just the part where it's growing, you know. But I'm not seeing any rot at all, especially on these two, which do get a lot of heat. But yeah, it's just a quick little update, guys. Like I say, very happy with how this is going, and I can't wait to see what this plant does in a couple of more months' time, because how fast this has shot up over the past couple of months from a tiny little plant, which I put on the thumbnail, and you can see from that wet-eyed to this is kind of ridiculous, really. You can see the root goes, sorry, not the root, the stem, is it? The stem? Yeah, stem goes all the way around. I'm just kind of trying to root it around and keep rooting it, because it's just going to keep lipping, you know. But yeah, anyway, that's the enclosure. I will give you an update in a couple of months' time. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Bye now.